Hey everyone, we're really excited to share our trip to Florida with you, but we just wanted to note that this trip was filmed from the end of February to March 9th, which was before COVID-19 was declared a pandemic and travel was still allowed. We are currently practicing social distancing in our 192 square foot tiny house, which is an experience in itself, so you can go and watch some of the videos explaining that. While you're waiting for the rest of the videos about our trip to Florida to come out, you can always go back and watch our last series where we took the Scamp on a road trip through Maryland and Virginia. We visited Shenandoah National Park and Harper's Ferry. We went through West Virginia to Seneca Rocks and then back up through Pennsylvania, through Amish country, and then back to New Jersey. As much as we love the Scamp, we are still tent campers at heart, so for this trip in Florida, we're going to be doing 9 days of tent camping and soaking up the warmth and sunshine that we need so much in the spring. This trip to Florida started with a very early 3:30 in the morning wake-up call so that we could head out to the airport by 4 a.m. to catch that early flight. We decided to use a slightly different packing strategy. We didn't want to do a suitcase because that would be over 50 pounds, and with Spirit, you can only have a 40-pound bag. So we decided to use our backpacking backpacks. Even though we weren't going to be doing a backpacking trip, we know that we can pack our tent and everything pretty efficiently with these.
You're gonna turn off the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Security, sort of. I feel like every time we go to the airport, I always get pulled out of security to get my bag rechecked. And this time it was the massage ball that I keep in there. I don't know, they were like testing it to make sure it was safe.
Why'd you bring
I was like, it's a ball. I don't know, every time. But it's, what, 5 something in the morning right now? 5:30, and it's like the craziest that I've ever seen Atlantic City Airport, like the busiest that security has ever been.
By the end of February 2020, COVID-19 was definitely becoming more of a concern, especially in regards to travel. Now, the airport was really busy and our flight was packed. Everybody was just being more mindful about cleaning things, washing their hands, and making sure that they weren't touching their face.
All right.
We went to pick up our rental car and then got ready to go do provisioning. We had a pretty busy travel day, and the way that I planned this, there was really no room for error. We had to make it to a ferry dock in time to get ourselves onto the island before they left.
So we made it. No thanks to my phone, because for whatever reason, I've only had my new phone for like a week and a half. It decided that it needed to do like a reboot in the middle of the night, so my alarm didn't go off. Pat had to wake me up this morning, but we made it, and the flight was on time, so everything is still pretty lined up to get the ferry. It's like 10:15 right now, so we're gonna grab something to eat because we're starving, and we need coffee, and then we're gonna hit Walmart and get our provisions, and then we should be good to make it.
Exactly at 1 o'clock and had to check in at this building right behind me where it says ship store, and we got our parking pass over there. It was, I think, $9 per day for 3 days, and then we have to park the car across the street, and then we're going to check in down here at this tiki hut for the actual ship or ferry or whatever it is. But we made it on time, so that was a big worry from this morning. Normally I try to follow a rule that we don't camp on the same day that we fly, and definitely trying to only take one form of transportation within the day, just because that helps to make the trip more relaxing and a little bit less rushed. But on this day, obviously, all those rules went out the window. We flew out super early, we did some driving, we provisioned, we got to the ferry, and we had to take the ferry to the island. So it was definitely hectic, but we did that because our trip was a little bit shorter and we were trying to fit as much as possible into the days that we had.
Are you headed back up there now?
Yeah, well, tonight we'll stay in Fort Myers and then fly back.
Taking this old wooden ferry out to the island was actually one of the highlights of our trip. It was beautiful scenery, the ride was really enjoyable, and the crew of the ferry are a lot of fun. They interact with you and they actually try to teach you things that are helpful for you to know before you go out onto the island. So the trip itself was totally worth it.
Yeah. This particular piece right here is 300 years old. It's made out of glass. Okay, as you're walking along the beach, keep your eyes open for other things. You're not just going to find breastplate.
When we arrived at the ferry dock at Cayo, Costa State Park, everybody helped to unload the cargo and the camping gear, and we were amazed at how much stuff people brought. We figured because we were taking a ferry to the island that people would mostly have backpacking gear. They had entire cases of water, giant coolers, everything you could think of. And we didn't realize ahead, but there's actually a tram that will drive you from the ferry dock across to the other side of the island. We sort of thought we were going to have to walk, but good thing for these people, because there's no way they'd be carrying all that stuff. we've made it through 12 and a half hours of travel. So we got up at 3:30 and it's a little after 4 and we just got to the campsite. So it's the first time we've stopped moving all day. We were on a car, a plane, a ferry,
Shuttle.
a tram.
Yeah. Short flight, but we just took advantage of it to get it all, pretty much rip the band-aid off the first day to get settled.
With us on this trip to Florida. We have a lot more adventures from our camping trip to share with you coming up.